Hi, it's Jeannie here, and I needed to do another video, and I'm going, oh, what can I talk about? And another thought while I'm busy running my mouth is that a lot of you have noticed in my videos, I make up words, I put words in. It has to do with my learning disability. And if I go and edit my tapes all the time, I'd never get a tape done. So when you hear me use the wrong word or mispronounce a word, just laugh along with me, because the point of life is to be happy. Well, anyway, I was going through my notebook, and I don't write very big, so it makes it hard for me to read. But I thought, well, I've wrote all my ideals in here, so let's do a video on things that I have thought about writing. Well, to see, it's the 23, 22, 21. I can't remember when I moved into this condo, but I think I've been here 2 years or close to 2 years now. And in the beginning, you know, my daughter, who doesn't want to be my daughter anymore, had bought a new property, and I was having kind of a nervous breakdown because I was having problems dealing with circumstances in my life. And so she abruptly bought this house to save me and moved me out of my other house, which caused problems that I'll eventually talk about. I am still having difficulties with those memories. But the one thing that we decided to do, and it was on a positive note. You know, I was still dealing with issues, but I was still on my positive note. And anyway, we decided that we would build a rabbitry. A rabbitry is where you raise rabbits. For those who don't know, that was a new term to me, rabbitry. What you do, you put rabbits on trees? No, you put them under the trees. But anyway, so I had sat down and I wrote an executive summary of how we were going to do this. I studied for hours how we were going to fix the cages. Which cage was better for the bucks, which cages were better for the does, and how we would put them up without using wood frames. I mean, I spent a lot of hours, and my conclusion was that if we took the T-post, we could suspend the cages on the T-post. That eliminates the wood, and it makes easier cleanup. And for the does, and the does only, we would use the baby safe wire, because those cages are expensive with the baby cage wires. And just for the bucks, you just use regular cages because they don't need that. And so my design for the cages came into being. And you know, I found all this information on YouTube, and you can surely look it up if you want. Then I decided, well, easy cleanup, we would run a put your bird net underneath the cages, and put it at a slant like this, go from the first cage down to the bottom cage. And when the rabbits pooped or peed, it would fall into the net. The pee would fall down but the rabbit waste would go on down and collect into a bucket, and from that bucket you could make your fertilizer from the rabbit waste, which is excellent fertilizer, or you can spread it out on the ground and let the chickens break it up, or you could put it in the compost, or you could put it in your worm bin. There's so many things with rabbit poop, and rabbit poop is money. So I had all the things that I was going to do. So in my executive summary, I said that rabbits are profitable. Rabbit farming makes money. Rabbits are very, I forgot my word. They make lots of babies. So from the babies, you can sell them as pets. So you determine what kind of rabbit you want to sell as a pet. What kind of rabbit do you want for a meat rabbit? My special preference for meat rabbit is the California, because they have smaller bones and more meat than the New Zealand's. Okay, and rabbits are always highly demanded, because if you decide you're going to sell them as meat rabbits, they're very nutritional. So there are people who like to eat rabbits, and there are people who like to love rabbits. And then, okay, so you've butchered your rabbit. You got fur. So you tan it, you sell the fur. And you always got your lucky rabbit foot. So between the poop, the babies, the fur, and everything else, you got a profitable business going on. And I just love rabbits anyway. So, and rabbits are not aggressive. And if a rabbit is aggressive, then you do have a problem with that rabbit. It either needs to be culled out of the herd, gone to the vet, or something. Rabbits do get sick, so you always have to, watch your rabbits and maintain them. But they are not aggressive. It's hard to read my writing. But anyway, Donna and I were busy making our rabbitry. I was so excited. Oh, I think we went to Ocala and we found 3 rabbits. And we got 2 does and a buck. So you always start with a trio. And anyway, she may have the rabbitry, but I don't know. She lives here in DeLand where I live. I should know everything, right? But she doesn't talk to me. I'm no longer her mother. I'm going to cry. No, I'm not. I'm going to breathe. Life goes on. I didn't get my rabbitry. I didn't get to share in the business. I did buy the worms. I still have the worms. Every once in a while, I get so many worms. I give them to the neighbors or put them in the grass or whatever. And I don't ever see having a rabbitry again. I remember when I lived in Oklahoma, I had 50 does. And, oh gosh, I love those rabbits. That was right before Bob died. And then after Bob died, I guess I did too. But I remember when we first moved to the land, Bob goes and he buys 6 rabbits. We have no place to put the rabbits. They're just in the back of the Suburban, just doing their thing. And then Bob immediately, he goes to building the 6 cages for the rabbits. And before you know it, I got my 50 does and my $10 and babies everywhere. And having the rabbits was a good life. And so anyway, I got my plan. And so if you're ever thinking about going into the rabbit business, it's good. Or if you're thinking about the price of meat going up so high, rabbits are very quiet. And like I said, they're non-aggressive. If I've even had rabbits live in my house, and a lot of people do. So if you live in a condominium like I do, and I'm not going to do this, I'm just talking. You could set aside a room that you could do your 3 does and your 1 buck. And you could produce your meat, you know, when push comes to shove. I wouldn't put chickens in the house, but rabbits, they're easy, and they're easy to maintain, and they're very gentle, and they're very delicious, and they're very nutritious. So if push comes to shove for meat, you may want to think about that. I'm out of words. I always have so much to say, and then I run out of words. But I remember the very first time I cooked a rabbit for Bob and I took the rabbit and I cut off the tenders. And then I had I had rabbit tenders for dinner. Then I took the carcass and I boiled it. And then I pulled off the meat. And then I had a rabbit salad. I made it the same as you would make chicken salad. Well, then I had this wonderful broth. And so I had the bone broth from the rabbit and still had a little bit of meat in the broth. So I made a nice soup. So from that one little rabbit, I got 3 meals. And it fed us well. So I would love to have rabbits now, but my condo is too small and I got too much stuff. But that doesn't mean I won't do it in the future. You know, the rabbits are soft and cuddly, and you do and you can make an income from them. And they're so great for depression, because you take that sweet little baby and you hold it in your arms, and it's so wonderful. And I've got off subject, as I always do, but like I said, I love talking to you, and it's so neat when you listen back. But if you do have any questions about rabbitry, I will be more than happy to answer the questions for you, because basically I can't read my notes. But I had a rabbitry for like 15 years. So I do know a little bit about what I'm talking about. And I also know about essential oils, because I am a wellness advocate for doTERRA. So if you would like to use oils or join our little organization and get 25% off the price of your oils, That would be wonderful too. I do the loyalty rewards, so every month I spend so much money and I earn so many points, which gives me free oils. So I highly believe in my essential oils also. So I'm going to talk about that later because I have a box I need to unpack. And I'm rambling again. So remember to like, share, and subscribe because we never know what words are going to come out of my mouth. I am so unpredictable. But most everything I talk about has something that affects my life in general. I try very hard to stay out of politics and religion, and I haven't lately been minding my own business, but what can I say? I'm Jeannie. You need a Jeannie fix? Talk to me. And check out my website, my.doterra.com/Jeannie24. And Jeannie is spelled Jeanne. The old English word for Jean. You have a great day. Thank you for listening to my rambling, and I love you. Bye.